Have you ever ended up in court and wondered how your court case would be resolved? Stay tuned to learn a 3-card spread to help you figure out the outcome. Hi everybody, I'm Sue Allen Clayton. Welcome to my channel where we're learning how to read tarot 1 card at a time. In today's video, we'll be using a 3-card spread to look at the outcome of a court case. I will be using the Radiant Rider-Waite Tarot, and there is a link below. This question was posted anonymously online, and the question was, will my traffic accident court case be dismissed? I have no other information about the nature of the charges or whether the querent is male or female. For simplicity's sake, I'm going to call the querent William. Although William did not mention using a spread, I will be using the 3-card Justice spread. Card number 1, the evidence, represents the strength of the evidence in his favor. William pulled Justice. Card number 2, legal representation, shows the effectiveness of William's legal representation. He pulled the Star. Card number 3, the court's decision, suggests what decision the court will make, and William pulled the Lovers. Let's begin by talking about my first impressions. We have 3 major arcana cards. That tells me that this is a big deal. I don't think this is a minor fender bender with a $200 fine. I think that somebody got seriously injured or worse, and William is believed to be at fault. Perhaps he was distracted or drinking or something like that. It's also interesting that we get Justice in the first position. That's appropriate for a reading about a court case. The people in all 3 cards show some level of balancing. Justice has a scale. She also has a sword in her right hand and scales in her left hand. The Star has jugs in each hand, and the Angel, between the Lovers, has his hands up in a way that shows they are equally balanced. So my first thought is that the outcome of the court case, whatever it is going to be fair. Justice is very covered up, as is the Angel. It's interesting that the person in the Star and the Lovers are all naked. I believe there are only 4 cards in the Rider-Waite-Smith tarot deck in which people are naked, and we've got 2 of them here. The other 2 are the Devil and Judgment. We see bright light at the top of all 3 cards. On the outside cards, it is from the Sun. In the middle card, it is from a Star. All 3 cards contain a female. In the Lovers, we have a female and 2 males, the Archangel Raphael and the naked male. Both Justice and Raphael are facing straight towards us, although Justice's eyes face directly forward and the Angel's eyes face downward. The last thing I wanted to mention is that all of the people have blonde hair, which generally represents youth. The Angel has flames for hair. Let's look at each card individually. Card number 1, the evidence, represents the strength of the evidence in William's favor, and he pulled Justice. Justice is a card about balance, truth, and fairness. It tells us that the universe is fair and you will be judged fairly. You will get relief if you are wronged, and you will get punished if you wrong someone else. Lady Justice is staring straight at us. There is no hiding from her. She's sitting on a gray throne between 2 gray pillars. Gray represents neutrality. These pillars symbolize truth and law, both things that are very important for a judge. We know that William will get a fair trial. Justice has golden yellow hair. This represents a connection to spirit through her crown chakra. Her yellow crown is a symbol of authority. The yellow color demonstrates that she provides illumination to others, specifically, I think, by illuminating the truth. Her crown has 3 squares that look like the top of a castle wall. This is known as a mural crown and shows that Justice is part of a civilized society. We can also tell that she has the mental clarity to make the correct decision. We see the sun shining behind the curtain and around the sides of the pillars. This shows that she can see clearly. There is no darkness or clouds to obscure things. Below the top of her crown, we can see a square jewel that is located over her 3rd eye. This tells us that she has the mental clarity to make fair decisions. The 4 squares on her crown represent the feminine, masculine, material, and spiritual worlds. The sword in her right hand is significant for two reasons. First of all, it is double-edged and shows that actions have consequences. It also represents her ability to cut through the issues to find the truth and make sure that justice is realized. The scales in her left hand show that her logic must be balanced with intuition and emotion. It also shows that she must weigh both sides of an issue before she makes a decision. So how does justice show the strength of evidence in William's favor? I can't tell either way. All I can see is that she is a fair judge who will take all the facts into consideration and settle on the truth. Let's move on to the next two cards and see if I can get some more information. You've made it this far in the video, and I wanted to stop and ask for a favor if you're not already a subscriber, and that is to please hit the subscribe button. It's free for you and it will help me to grow this channel. Plus it means that you won't miss anything. Thanks so much, and if you're already a subscriber, I truly appreciate your ongoing support. Now let's get back to the video. Card number 2, legal representation, shows the effectiveness of William's legal representation. He pulled the star. I see this woman representing William's lawyer. The star is a card about hope. We often wish upon a star to make our dreams come true. Given that she is a lawyer, we can assume that her goal is to do everything possible to serve her client and get the case dismissed. In this card, we see a beautiful starlit night. The woman is pouring jugs of water into a pool and also onto the grass. It looks like she's doing it effortlessly, but we all know that water jugs are heavy. She is somebody who is working hard. I feel like this is how she acts in a courtroom. She acts like her arguments are effortless, but the truth is that she's put a lot of work into making it seem so. I'm recording this video in August 2024, and it wasn't long ago that former President Trump was on trial and convicted of 34 felony crimes to illegally influence the 2016 election by paying money to Stormy Daniels, who is an adult film star. Some of you might have had the misfortune, as I did, to read about attorney Susan Nichols' cross-examination of Stormy Daniels and also attorney Todd Blanche's cross-examination of Michael Cohen. I'm no legal scholar, but it felt like their goal was much more about intimidating and shaming the witnesses than getting to the facts of the case. From the analysis I watched, not to mention my own opinion, this strategy was believed to be extremely off-putting to the jury. I don't think that would happen here. The fact that William's lawyer is naked, and also that it is night, makes me believe that she is humble. The trial is not about her and showing off her skills. It's about getting the job done. I think that she would approach the court case with humility, would be extremely well prepared, and her actions would not turn off the jury. I believe that she is a very effective attorney and doing a great job for William. Card number 3, the court's decision, suggests what decision the court will make, and William pulled the Lover's card. The first thing we have to do is figure out who the 3 figures in the card represent. Let's start with the easy part. I believe that Archangel Raphael, between the couple, represents the judge. Archangel Raphael is the angel who helps with healing, protection, and journeys. He has flames for hair. We'll talk about the meaning of the flames and fire in a moment. I think the 2 people in the card represent William, who is the defendant and charged with the crime, and the victim. Here they are waiting for the judge's decision. The question is, which of the 2 adults is William? I have to admit that I got stuck here. I don't want to be sexist and assume that William is the man because I decided to give the querent a male name. Basically, the only difference between the 2 figures is whether they have a snake or flames behind them. The snake is potentially a phallic symbol, so William could be the person on our left, but that didn't feel right. When I get stuck like this, I use my pendulum. If you're not familiar with pendulums, I've linked to a video below about how to use one. Essentially, a pendulum is a weighted object, and you can see examples on the screen that you hold in your hand and ask yes/no questions to. My pendulum said that the male is William and the female is the victim, so that's how I'm going to proceed. Now we have to deal with the outcome of the court case. How is this fair judge going to rule? Note they are standing at the same level, so I feel like their viewpoints are pretty equally balanced. They have a mountain between them that can represent obstacles. Everything in this card looks balanced. Behind the female/victim is an apple tree with a snake wrapped around the trunk. Snakes have a long history of representing dishonesty, deceit, or betrayal. The Lover's card is widely believed to represent Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. In that story, the snake, who is interpreted to be Satan, convinces Eve to eat the apple, something that God forbid her to do. That led the couple to realizing they were naked, feeling shame, and ultimately to sin being introduced into a previously perfect world. We also see examples of snakes representing betrayal in mythology, such as the story of Medusa. In Greek mythology, Medusa was a beautiful maiden who was raped by Poseidon in Athena's temple. In what appears to be a case of victim blaming, Athena punished Medusa by transforming her hair into snakes and making her face so hideous that anyone who looked directly at her turned to stone. So I believe that the supposed victim was lying about what happens, and this means that William is innocent. Behind William is a tree with 12 flames. Fire can represent passion, intensity, destruction, and clarity. Think of a forest fire. It moves quickly and indiscriminately destroys everything in its path. I think this represents what William has been going through. He passionately maintained his innocence and felt a lot of intense emotions. Although forest fires are destructive, they do have benefits. Fire breaks down organic matter, which increases the nutrients in the soil. It can destroy insects, which, long-term, will make the forest healthier. And it also clears out dead trees, and it allows new plants to grow that wouldn't have access to sunlight if there was a canopy of tree branches above them. You can see an area more clearly after a fire. There's no foliage to obscure the views. All of this is to say that I feel like the court case almost destroyed William's life. He is going to have to rebuild the pieces of his life after losing virtually everything. It won't be easy, but the experience will give him new clarity about his life and open him to possibilities that weren't there before. So I think this card is saying that William is innocent, that the victim is lying. Let's quickly summarize the reading. We answered the question, will William's traffic case be dismissed? And the answer is yes. Card number 1, Justice, represents the strength of the evidence in William's favor. All I could tell from this card is that the judge's decision would be fair. Card number 2, the Star, shows the effectiveness of William's legal representation. This card indicates that the lawyer was excellent. She was careful, hardworking, and able to elicit the facts without bullying witnesses or alienating the jury. Card number 3, the Lovers, suggests what decision the court will make. I believe that the judge will recognize that the victim is lying and that William will be found innocent. He'll be able to move on from a very difficult time and rebuild his life. I hope that this video gave you some ideas that you can apply to your tarot practice. Please leave a comment if you'd like to share what you learned. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.